Damn, we got some Halloween decorations out here. I guess somebody hunted an elk and they just caped it and took the meat. See the skull right there. Gnarly. Hey, what's up everyone? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm out here once more in the beautiful mountains of Cloudcroft, New Mexico. I've been coming back to this same spot already 3 times in a row, I believe, and I just love it. Now, I promise we're going to get back to desert stuff pretty soon, but for now, you know, the desert's still pretty hot, but you come up here and autumn is quickly approaching. You see a lot of these aspens turning yellow. And it's nice and cool up here, nice and refreshing with the trees. And so I'm just gonna unwind, you know the deal, make my shelter, cook up some delicious food, have a couple of cold ones, and just enjoy nature. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started. Alright, so check this out. My tripod has survived. So if you missed my last camping trip, my last solo camping trip, I lashed this together to make a tarp shelter. And it was a success for the most part. There's some alterations that needed to be done to make it more comfortable, but I was only here one night, so I was not able to. So I left it up to fate, and I left this alone, hoping that future campers wouldn't come in and break this down and use it for firewood. And luckily they didn't. They left us alone. So I'm going to be once again using this to setting up a tarp shelter, but just once again with some minor alterations to make it better. So I recall the floor was quite slopey. You can tell that it gradually goes down this way. So when I was sleeping and I would toss and turn, I was kind of like sliding down. So I'm going to move this to a flatter spot and then from there set up my shelter. So change of plans. Originally, I was going to make the tarp shelter exactly as I did last time. However, I just think we should take advantage of this and try a different setup. So I'm going more traditional this way. It's not a tripod anymore. And this way it's just going to be easier to set up that tarp, just like an old school Boy Scout type tent. And I think it's just going to be easier for me to set up the tarp. And I think it'll just be more spacious as well. So time to set this up and try out this new configuration. Okay, folks, so here we go. This is going to be my home for the night. Just a classic tent setup, nothing fancy. I'm not expecting any inclement weather, any storms of any kind, any strong winds. So I think I'll be fine like this and warm enough with my sleeping bag and wool blanket. In case it does look like there's a storm off on the horizon, I could just lower these beams and just adjust the little corners so I can just cover those gaps. And I think I'll be all right. But yeah, simple setup for today. Well, folks, my shelter is set up. It's looking nice and sturdy. I'm not expecting any crazy weather tonight, so I think I shall be fine. In case the weather turns, that's life. You just got to improvise, but I think we'll be okay. In the meantime, I'm going to cool off a little bit, so I did bring one of these bad boys. So cheers, everyone. There we go. And once again, cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Even if you cannot get outdoors for whatever reason, you cannot enjoy nature, you are here with me in spirit. Don't worry, I got plenty of beer for all of us. So, in the meantime, I'm going to just enjoy this beer. After that, I got to gather a tinder bundle, get the wood going, and then I'm going to start a fire. Now, last time I was here, I made my first flint and steel fire since my hand injury, And that was a success. I want to keep that movement going, that momentum going. This time I want to make a magnification lens fire. Now, that one theoretically should be easier because I don't require a lot of dexterity, a lot of complex movement from this hand. All I got to do is hold the tin with the char cloth, and then this hand does all the work with the mag lens. However, you give something up for everything you gain. And so I left the deserts of West Texas and I came over here to the cool New Mexico mountains, and the sun is just not as strong up here. Not only that, but of course there's a lot more cover from trees and clouds pass by. So I'm not sure if the sun's going to be as strong to get that fire going now, but we shall try. And once again, if it doesn't work, once again, that's life. We will improvise. But in the meantime, I'm just taking a little break. So as always, once again, thank you for joining me. All right, folks, so let's get this fire going. Let's open this case with char cloth, mag lens, char cloth. I think this is a nice spot right here. Let's see if it comes out on camera. Might have to remove my hat. It's getting in the way here. Come on. Nothing. Yeah, that's the autumn sun. And then it's already about 5 p.m. So it's not, the sun is not as strong as it could have been had I done it earlier during the afternoon. All right, we got a little bit of some stronger sun right here. Nope, that's it's not happening, not today. But oh well, we tried it. Just it's too late in the day. The sun's rays are not as strong, and there's a lot of like branches that are kind of weakening the sun's direct hit. So we'll just use some matches. And honestly, I would not rely fully on a magnification lens fire because half the day is nighttime, or there could be, clouds or whatever the case may be. So it's a good backup, especially for me who lives in the desert. But that shouldn't be, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. So we got some matches here. Let's just get the matches going. Nice and old school. Whoops. I ended up suffocating it. Ugh. And I am just not in my A game with fire today. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Finally. Took 4 damn matches. Rookie move. And everything's nice and dry out here. It doesn't look like there's been rain anytime recently, so this should catch pretty easily. So sunset's just around the corner. It's nice and relaxing right now. I got the fire going, trying to get a nice hot bed of coals before we start cooking our dinner. Now for dinner tonight, it's going to be very simplistic. We're going to have some cheesy potatoes with sausage. And of course, I have to have some jalapenos for some spice. I do have, once again, my andouille sausage right here. And then I do have some cheddar cheese put away in the ice chest. So let's start chopping up some veggies. And for the blade today, I did bring the Bear Forest Knives Simple Puko. Now, Pukos and Scandi grinds in general normally are not my cup of tea. I think they're good. They're just not what I go for. I go for more of a slicer. But look how thin this blade is. I mean, this thing is a scalpel because how thin it is. So it's a great slicer. So best of both worlds right there. And stay tuned. We will have a review on this blade in the upcoming couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, time to start getting dinner going. Look how thin these slices are. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. The flames, I'm trying to get a nice hot bed of coals here for my cast iron. I think this may be good enough right there. And then warm that up. So these guys are cooking up nicely. So what we're gonna use for spices, we got some Texas all-purpose Creole, which is basically blackening, and then some rub and brine Cazadores Asada, which is pretty good stuff. I mean, I'm almost out of it, so I'm gonna have to order me another one pretty soon. But this is really good. So let's pour some of this on here. Excellent. And that'll be ready in about 5 minutes. In this heat, those potatoes are cooking quickly. Throw in some cheddar cheese on here. All right. So these guys have been slow cooking for quite some time. The cheese is nice and melted. Oh yeah. No, I'm dropping some. Look at that. Oh yeah. Look at this chip. It's like a potato chip right here. So it's time to chow down. Now granted, when I'm filming solo, it is never the best camera angles, but here we have our cheesy potatoes. Let me lower that brightness so it doesn't look too ridiculous. There we go. So once again, we have andouille sausage, jalapenos, potatoes, cheddar cheese with some spices. Very simplistic recipe, I gotta say, but it's gonna be delicious. I can already tell. Jalapenos are nice and crispy. The potatoes are nice and soft. And I already ate my food. I put away all the food stuff in the truck because once again, there's bears in this area. And I'm just enjoying myself, having myself a Colorado Kool-Aid for you country music fans. And that's about it for me. I'm going to relax for the evening. I do have a really cool experimental bushcraft breakfast planned, so I do want to wake up early tomorrow. But for now, I'm just enjoying this beautiful autumn evening. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Well, everyone, I'm already in my shelter, nice and cozy, ready to call it a night. We still got that fire going over there. That's going to give us a nice hot bed of coals for tomorrow's breakfast. But that's about it for me, folks. So I'm ready to call it a night. I am pretty tired. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. So, y'all have a good night. See you tomorrow. Good morning, folks. So it is coffee time. I should be camping with Cuervo pretty soon. And once we do that, we're gonna go back to our fancier coffees. I'm just going kind of very bare bones for this morning. So I didn't want to bring creamer and all those things. So just Copicos for now. Now that fire is hot. This thing boiled so quickly. Okay, so I got my Junkyard Fox coffee. Shameless plug in case you were interested in purchasing something from our merch store. No joke, this is one of our first ever items in our merch store, and to this day, it's the #1 bestseller. This thing is always selling. It's guaranteed, like every couple days, somebody buys one of these with this logo, the classic logo that everyone likes. And that's interesting. But yeah, it outsells our stickers, our shirts, our newer designs. It's just this classic enamel cup. I've had mine going on 5 years already and still going strong. All right. Gonna enjoy one cup here while I let the flames die down a little more. And then after that is breakfast time, so. Cheers, everyone. Okay, so it's pretty much been dropped down. There's not as much flames. I did move some of the flames out of the way. And let's get to cooking the bacon first. That'll be pretty easy. So I did put these rocks right here so I can put these somewhat green pine limbs to be our grill. All right. Heat. Oh, it's pretty warm. Good stuff. All right. Here is our bacon. Let's open this up. All right, here we go. These are some thick pieces. So our bacon is cooking. I'm gonna take it slow. I don't wanna rush anything and then, I'm running around and, messing with the camera gear and then I just ruin things. So I'm going pretty slow, gonna let them slow cook. In the meantime, we're gonna be cooking, I think 2 eggs is fine. I think 2 eggs is sufficient. 4 strips of fat bacon and then 2 eggs. I think that's enough for me. So from what I've seen, how you do this is you puncture a hole at the top. It's a little frustrating with this hand. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. Opened a hole there. There you go. You can see there. Let's do the second one. There we go. All right. Now let's give this a try. So as you can see, one of the eggs started overflowing damn near immediately, so I just think the coals were just way too hot, so I adjusted it, I moved it out of the way so where it's a little bit cooler, and I'm gonna move these burning logs out of here so they don't burn my food. It's what's happening is that the grease from the bacon is dripping down and it's just stimulating the flames, so I'm gonna move it out of the way. Let's turn these guys around. Let's adjust this guy. Oh, that's hot. Okay, so we've let them cook for about 10 minutes. I think that's good enough. I don't want to push it. So let's get these bacon out of the way first. They are more than done. In fact, they're a little overcooked. I kind of like mine a little bit on the softer side, but I'm not gonna complain. Look at these. Damn, these look good. All right, now for the eggs. All right, everyone, so our moment of truth, we shall see how this pans out. So definitely the bacon, I think, is going to be great. I mean, the bacon looks very well cooked. It was all smoking, you know, in the cold, so I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Let's give it a try. That's damn good. That is some damn good bacon. Best bacon I've had in a very long time. And the cool thing about this is there's no dirty dishes that I gotta wash when I get home, other than the pan the cast iron that I did use yesterday for the potatoes. But I mean, if I wanted to go really minimalist, very caveman style, you know, and I didn't want to use any pots or I didn't have any, you can still cook food on coals or rocks, you know. So I haven't done that in a while. Like I said, when my hand was injured, I was kind of just doing a lot of car camping, just taking it easy, using tents and stuff like that. But as I'm progressing, I kind of want to go back to the primitive skills and minimalist stuff. So this was a great experiment and a delicious one. So let's go ahead and try the eggs. I gave them about 5 minutes to cool off, just like when you would do like a hard-boiled egg. So let's get the one that's kind of like really messed up, this one. So let me just toss out all this egg. I mean, this, in a survival situation, this would still feed you, but you know, we can afford to be picky and some raccoon's gonna get lucky. But in the meantime, let's try to break this open. Yeah, let's move the bacon out of here, and that way I can trap all the little shells here. I'm getting impatient here. Let's just get this piece right here. All right, folks, so bottoms up. It was good. I am pleasantly surprised. This is really good. I did forget to pour some spices when I opened it, so that's something I would have done different. But overall, I gotta say, that was pretty damn good. Okay, let's get this other one out. This one is not perfect either, as you can tell. I just think the coals were just a little too strong. So, you know, that's just good practice. For next time, I'll just know to, one, put them a little farther apart from the coals, and two, take them out a little earlier too. I think that might have been an issue too. I let them stay there too long. Oh, this one still has some moisture in it. Look at that. Oh, hell yeah. And I like my eggs runny. I'm a predator, so the more it looks like food in its raw form, the more it's appealing to me. There we go. Okay, so here is my second egg. This one still has some moisture in it, so I think this one cooked a little better. So let's try this out. My God, that is delicious. I don't know if you can see, but there is still some juice on there. Really good. This is a new favorite, a new staple. The new one for old James Harris. Don't forget the bacon. Mm-hmm. Well, everyone, that's about it for me. This was such a fun, relaxing trip. I'm loving the autumn colors and the cool air. I was just so done with summer, so I'm very excited for these cold winter months. I'm really loving this area. I very much enjoyed this tarp shelter. Not too bad for my second tarp shelter in the woods. This is far more comfortable and sturdy, and I slept like a baby. And I'm really loving this area. Next time I come out here, I will be bringing Cuervo Negro. He's overdue for some dirt time. And with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. The food was delicious. Yesterday's cheesy potatoes, this morning's Caveman breakfast. Once again, really loving this shelter, and I'm just loving the woods. But I'll also be getting back out in the desert as well. I know you guys have been wanting to see some desert stuff, so that's coming up pretty soon. As always, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. And we'll see you guys next week with another video. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.